Morning, Africans, and good morning, world at large. Um, I would really love to dig deeper this time around into the African affairs and just try to see where did we go wrong, why are we failing, what are the solutions, permanent solutions to be precise. Yeah, let's dwell onto those points. First and foremost, I it boggles the mind as to why we find ourselves in the situation we find ourselves. It's common knowledge about the yesteryear's incidents that has catapulted into present day. There is an acknowledgement, fair and square, even though it was or it is still injustice. That is noted. But then secondly, why is it that every attempt made in making Africa great, the result is disastrous? This is a deliberate move, or has been deliberate moves since those who make the moves are totally inferior and they want to look superior and they want to use their positions, whatever positions, in accumulating inappropriately that which do not belong to them. And it's unfortunate that our very own people, African people, black people, are collaborators in this, in self destructing. Yes, you might gain a thing or two, but those things that you gain, they're meaningless and they're short sighted and they're limited. And then you go back and restart again as if you did nothing at all. Let me start with the UN, United Nations. Now let's speak with a sober mind here. UN, when it was formed in the 1945, Africa was not part of it. The colonizers, yes, all of them and more, were part of it. In fact, it started as a League of Nations, then later on became UN. Now, us being part of the UN, it's really meaningless and fruitless and useless because we gain nothing from it, but we've just dug a hole and it keeps getting deeper and deeper each and every day. When we are on the stage talking on the so-called UN Day, nobody listens to us. The house is empty. But when one of them speaks, the house should be full. A lot of applauses, a lot of BS. We are 1.34 billion people on the continent. The number could have risen. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's either 3 or 4 billion Africans currently. And how on earth that we do not have a permanent seat? How? How can countries as small as France, for instance, have a veto? Germany have a veto. And a continent as big as Africa with 1.34 billion people not have a permanent seat. That is so ridiculous, degrading, and disrespectful. Because UN is not about going there, showing your faces, your little suits and dresses, two pieces, for photo sessions. Then afterwards you disappear or you vanish. Others get to be listened to, others not. We waste our taxpayers' money in sending those leaders coming and attend those useless UN meetings where they bring nothing back home, where they represent nothing at all. We don't need photo shoots. We need exchange of ideas. We need representations. We need power. Right? That's UN. IMF, International Monetary Fund. Who are the shareholders? Who started it? In whose interest? When they themselves loan themselves, I don't know how many percentage, but it's lesser than what we pay as Africans. So I guess it's very possible in us starting our own monetary fund, whatever name we give it. We've got 54, 55 states with South Sudan now. Excuse me, 54, 55 states. Surely, and we are the biggest when it comes to minerals. Half or 60% of the minerals found or deposited in this world on this earth, half of it or 60% of it is found here in Africa. Then the rest is divided a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there. So we are the main shareholder when it comes to wealth or the mineral resources deposited on earth. But if we look around, we are less privileged, less enjoying the proceeds from these minerals. And those who own less or nothing at all are the ones who are beneficiary. This madness must come to an end. And who's going to change this madness? It is us, the youth. Because it looks like the old folks, they are aging and their mind is going backwards. They don't seem to tell the difference anymore. No disrespect, my elders. No disrespect whatsoever. None intended. But here we're just speaking the facts and the truth. Speak the truth, shame the devil. It is long overdue that we should not speak in, what is the right word now? We shouldn't speak, we shouldn't lie. We should speak the truth because truth will set us free. It is about time that we do our own thing so that we can see ourselves in distant future on another level. ICC, International Criminal Court, I'm yet to see any Western leaders, European, whoever, having a fair chance of standing before a judge, getting judged and getting sentenced to crimes they've committed all over the world, more especially on the African continent. I'm yet to see that. And believe me, it's not going to happen because of their superpowers. Yet, when an African does one or two, they always want to take him to the ICC. Basically, who commands the ICC? Why was the ICC created? What use is it if it only keeps following the Africans? Mind too, when a leader makes some mistakes or chows his country's money or resources, by all means, he or she needs to be taken to court of justice and judged. And here I refer to all the leaders everywhere, the whole world, not just targeting Africans. Because if it's targeting Africans, then which means that institution should be, might as well be closed. Because it's not effective, it's not decent, and it's not fair. Surely we can come up with our own as well here. If the international institutions are not working, or they're not in our favors, or they're not just, then perhaps we should leave the internationality aside and do our own thing. World Health Organization. When the coronavirus, the pandemic started, I remember vividly, there is a country in Africa, I just can't remember the name now, came up with a herb. And the herb was tested in that country. And it was working.